Hey, this is Amazon Jude coming to you from Wyoming, and started scanning the news earlier today, and I have two things to say right off the bat. When Kathy Griffith held up a fake head of Trump, bloodied in her hands, I didn't hear a single word out of Dianne Feinstein or any of the Democrats. They probably all giggled back and loved that big time. But somebody else makes another, I don't know, mime of a golf ball knocking Hillary down when she actually did fall into the plane that day. She was so fucked up. They're outraged. That's almost jokeable. One side can do it and it's all okay. But somebody else, like even Trump, he has a sense of humor. He has a right to his own opinions and what he finds humorous. And you know what? I think 3/4 of America laughed their ass off when they saw that. Just like the one with WWF. That was funny too, because it's you know, what happened to America when you can't make a joke and not have it criticized to the point where somebody's offended. Somebody's offended. Well, you know what? Fuck, you're offensive. You know, I'm Polish and German, and for years and decades, and I'm a blonde with blue eyes, and I heard every joke under the sun for blondes and Polish and German and all of that. And you know what? If it wasn't funny, I didn't laugh. I didn't raise hell. I didn't act like an idiot. I didn't expect half of America to bow down and kiss my ass. So, Dianne Feinstein, go pound sand, old Cal. You can take your old cows with you. You know, Walters and Pelosi and Warren and all you crazy old hides that have been in Congress way too goddamn long. Go home, take care of your grandbabies. Your time's numbered, man. I'd be surprised if most of you will make it to 2020 election, so I'm not too worried about any of you. Except for I do know there are 23 Democrats, and all you little witches are included in this upcoming 2018 election. And no matter how you pound our Republicans, I'm telling you, there's only a few of them guys that need to go. And we'll take care of them in 2020. Because there's only 9 that are up in 2018, so there's not a whole hell of a lot we can do about it. But we can sure wipe the Congress clean of 23 Democrats and put you fuckers in line. So I would suggest that most people focus on that fact that here is your chance to help President Trump drain the swamp in Congress by forcing out 23 Democrats. The 9 Republicans that are there, 2 of them are dead. So that leaves 7. One's a nut, Rand Paul. He's never going to agree to anything unless he's sitting in the president's seat, which, you know, his dad is quite off the wall himself. I'd have to call Rand Paul our Uncle Bernie of the Republican Party these days, because nothing is going to satisfy that boy. Nothing. The women folk of the Republican Party, Susan Collins and Murkowski of Alaska, they're not up, Collins is up in 2018, so you can drain that bitch out, and I'd be okay with that. Murkowski's up in 2020. She's never going to agree to anything. She's a split tail. She's a Hillary supporter. She only carries an R behind her name because that's the only way she made it into office. We all know that. Sarah Palin and all her pals up there will take care of that snatch bag, and I have no doubt about that. They're fighting over Lindsey Graham's, Lindsey Graham and Cassidy and Heller. He's a Democrat. Heller's not too bad. I think he could go on and do a lot for this country. So I'm not going to down Democrat Heller too bad. But seems the parties are split on this. What is wrong with working across the aisle? Isn't that what everybody says when they're out on the election trail? I will be gladly to work across the aisle. Well, here's the time to do it. And the Democrats are pulling back their fingers. Republicans, oh, well, our three factions don't agree. What do you mean, three factions? You're either a Republican that will support the President of the United States, or you're a Democrat, or you're a goddamn liar. Which is it, boys? We need you to step up to the plate and make your decision, because it's going to come up, whether it's 2018 or 2020. And until the internet is taken down and censored so bad, this stuff is still going to get out. And even if you do that, we can revert back to Morse code. We can revert back to CB radios. You will not stop America from moving itself forward. Looks like Chuck Schumer is still going to be he's up for 2018 in New York. New York, you like the way it is? You like being charged for a 16-ounce drink and told you can't smoke in public, and you got to vote Democrat? What are you guys, stupid? Do you guys ever turn on a TV up there in New York? Besides watching the fashion shows? Your city is shit. And your governor is shit. Your mayor is shit. You guys want to do what you want to do? Then hey, vote for Graham and Cassidy's bill. Then you guys can decide your own health care. Oh my God. The states get to decide their own health care? What a concept. Man, that is such a bad thing. Why not be able to blame the government instead of the state officials? So, to you, Chuck Schumer, today, go pound sand, boy. You're an idiot. Oh, let's see what else. Oh, Hillary's back in the news. It's not enough for her to sit in Costco's toilet paper and milk section to sell her book. To go on The View, the puke of old batshit crazy women pushing their liberal agendas. She's made every talk show there is and still will not blame herself. Fuck Hillary. Even hell will have her eating maggots. Let's see. CBO. Oh, they don't have CBO, which is supposed to be nonpartisan, but it's not. It's a Democrat, another arm. Democrats have been busy. 40 years worth of busyness of screwing the American people everywhere they can, from local to state to federal to the Washington. That's what Democrats do, is they screw you. And they make you take it with a smile. CBO was created, what, in 1937? I'd shit can the whole program if I was Trump. I'd make an executive order and disband him. None of these guys have ever been elected. None of these guys have ever been accountants. None of these guys have ever ran a business, worked a business, or produced a business. CBO, what do you call him? Constantly bullshit orders. That would be my, basic hillbilly way of saying it. Oh, here's another one. Oh, we can't have voter ID. Who doesn't have ID? You have to have ID to drive a car, buy a house, rent an apartment, get on food stamps, get your birth certificate. Here in Wyoming, you know what I have to do? And I am white. I am green-eyed. I am 5'11", 200 pounds of all-American beef woman. And I had to send back to my home state for my birth certificate. Then I had to send to my current state for a marriage license. and or a divorce license to get renewed for my driver's license. But we're going to let all of these illegals get licenses and social security cards because they were brought here by their parents? What the fuck is that? That's just insane. Okay, they don't want to do voter ID because Democrats would never be in power again. Their corruption has been so goddamn deep for, what, 60 years? 50 years? And then I can think back with the refugee program. Did we have this problem before Papa Bush signed on to the New World Order? No, we didn't. It took Baby Bush, Papa Bush, Obama, Clinton, and oh God, what's his name? Oh, my senator's dad, Cheney, Dick Cheney, to create a refugee problem. And you know how they did that? Was playing kingmaker in other countries that we had no fucking business getting involved in. You know what? We are not the police of the world, and nor should we be. Our country is going down, 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 while we're trying to play kingmakers of the world. Who elected us, fucking God? Nobody. And I say, you know what? If you don't like the way your country's running, then you need to rise up and fight just like we did in 1776.
Man, we got some bad weather coming, folks. I have never seen such a lawless group of hypocrites in all my life as the likes of these liberal Democrats all across the country. You know, they want to pound their chest and talk about law, order, and the implementation of justice when they think that President Trump is committing some violation of an ethics law or some weird collusion theory with Russia, right? All of a sudden, justice matters. The enforcement of law and order matters when it pertains to the POTUS. But when it pertains to everyday laws all across the country, the left says, look the other way, and we're going to go off of morals. Rule of law really doesn't matter in this case. And they make all kind of excuses to justify not enforcing the law. So what is it? Are we going to be a nation of law and order and apply the law universally to all citizens? Or are we going to be a nation of cowards and hypocrites like the Democrats and liberals are trying to steer us into becoming? Look at Rahm Emanuel, for example. Rahm Emanuel has declared Chicago a Trump-free zone. He's prohibiting the POTUS from entering his city. And I'm thinking to myself, who is this guy? Who does this guy think he is? He says, mayor in Chicago. He's not running the country. It's not up to him to say who can and cannot enter his city. Are you serious? Where does that stop, Mr. Emanuel? You want to make Chicago a Trump-free zone. Will you also make Chicago a United States Department of Justice-free zone? Will you not let the FBI enter your little city? What about the IRS? Are they also disallowed from entering Chicago? What are you talking about, dude? You can't prohibit the President of the United States from entering your city. On what grounds? Hey, Rahm Emanuel, you can't even keep your city safe from violence, bro.
In fact, I knew you weren't going to answer our questions today. And I apologize for wasting so much time here because it's really not been very productive. And I asked my staff to count the number of times today you would say I can't answer that question or refuse to give an appropriate response. It's happened 74 times so far. So really, it's either one of two things. Either you're saying that because you want to avoid the appearance of impropriety, in which case you should have recused yourself, or you're trying to protect Hillary Clinton.